Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I have decided that I want to set a few saving rules for the rest of 2021, and in this video I'm going to go over those saving rules. Now, to be quite honest, over the last 6 months, especially over the last couple of months, I've spent a lot more money in the personal category. Actually, it's really just been the last 6 months. And you guys know that I set a budget every month for my personal category. I set a budget for everything, and I keep going over that personal budget. So I typically have been allowing myself $50 or $100, but I am going well above that each month for the most part. And I don't really like that. To me, that is, I guess, problematic. I don't have a spending problem. I don't have a shopping problem. It is nothing of that nature, but I want to be able to set a budget, especially when it comes to personal spending, and actually stick to it. So I've realized that I would like to set some saving rules for the final 6 months of 2021. So starting in July, or I guess I could start now, it doesn't really matter. But I will be having these various little saving rules to just help me, one, save more money for my student loan debt, save more money in general, and then also to reduce my spending. So I have 4 new saving/spending rules for the next 6 months. So the first one is going to be low spend. And I'm basically going back to 2020 and living that life again. I want to do a no spend, low spend 6 months for the final 6 months of 2021. What I really like about the no spend/low spend is that it's a big challenge, which I think is actually fun. It's almost like a game. So I think putting it that way, it makes me a little bit excited. Like I want to do this again. So I'm gonna go ahead and treat this as a challenge and take on that challenge for the remainder of 2021. But the other thing is it allows me to save more money, and obviously that's going to help me save more for my student loans. It also creates more discipline in my life so that, if I see something that I want, or if I'm thinking of something that I want, I can write that down and then save it for later and see if I actually want it. I think regularly having low spend, no spend months at a time or a year at a time is going to be something very common in my life, because I think that'll make the most sense for me. Because when you go a year without buying anything that you want, you actually realize what it is that you want. So then the next year you can buy those things, or over the next 6 months you can buy those things, and then you're kind of good again. Like you get to a point where you're like, oh, okay, now I don't need any more stuff. I have more than I need, obviously. So let's do this again. And then you kind of start that over, so you can set your rules for yourself and then buy what it is that you need to buy after 6 months or a year, and it actually is the things that you truly need or want, because you still want them after 6 months to a year, if all of that makes sense. I don't know, but that's the first thing. That's a kind of a big announcement, a big change, last minute idea, and I'm gonna just go through with it. I will be making a separate video before July of what my little rules will be for the no spend for the next 6 months, but it's gonna be very similar to 2020, so stay tuned for that. Now, in relation to that, my second savings rule is that if I do buy anything unnecessary, I have to put that same amount into savings. So for the next 6 months, I'll probably do more so of a low spend year and really actually just like set a budget for myself for personal spending and these rules of what I cannot buy, and then allow myself to purchase. Like, let's say I still have to think about it, honestly, but if there is something that I do end up purchasing that is completely unnecessary, then I am going to put that same amount into my savings. So if I buy something for $10, then I will put $10 into my savings as well. So that's going to be something that I will have to think about before I make a purchase, because then it's going to be like, oh, can I afford to make this purchase plus put that toward my savings? Typically, I probably would be able to, one, because I don't buy anything crazy expensive for the most part. But I think the good thing about that is it's just kind of like spending double your money, and obviously the savings is a good thing, but it will be something to think about. Like, do I want to put that amount to my savings, or does that make sense right now? So that is my second thing. I think that's actually just a good practice in general. So if you do want to find a way to save more money, whatever you spend, also put that into savings, mostly for unnecessary stuff, because it gets to a certain point where you can't do that. So that's number 2. Number 3 is any extra income I make will go toward my savings, aside from my online earnings, because sometimes my online earnings, honestly, my online earnings typically go either toward my business, they go toward my living expenses, and then the rest of it would go to debt or debt savings. And obviously this is after taxes, but really I want to 100% put all of my extra income toward my savings or my debt. And this is going to be like cash back from my credit cards, cashing out from coupon apps or like Rakuten or Ibotta, Fetch. Actually, Fetch doesn't allow you to take out cash, I don't think, but yeah, we'll see about that one. But then also if I sell something on Poshmark or Mercari, all of that will go to my savings and debt. Then the 4th and final thing that I will be doing is saving my savings. And what I mean by this is, like, let's say I have a couple of receipts here from the grocery store. So this is from Kroger. And if you have a Kroger Plus card, you can typically, you buy the items and you get them for a little bit cheaper. So they count it as savings. So anytime I go to the grocery store, let's say I go to Target and I save something, like I get a coupon through the Target app, I will put that amount to my savings. So this is something that's new to me. So you'll see at the bottom here of these 2 receipts, I saved $3.59, and this time I saved 80 cents. So then I would put that to my savings. And I think that's a kind of a cool way to just add up a little bit more cash, you know, here and there. And it's not something you really think about because it's not, I don't know, when I go to the grocery store, I just expect those lower prices that are on there. So to me, it's not really a savings. I know it's more so like a tactic for the grocery store. But I think it'll be cool to put, you know, $4 here, $1 here, whatever it is that is on the receipt. Same goes with any unexpected savings. So I don't know, this is just an example that will not happen to me because I literally never go through the drive-through line and I haven't had Starbucks in months. But let's say you're in the drive-through line, you order a coffee at Starbucks, but the person pays ahead of you. And let's say there's nobody behind you either. So the person pays for your bill, or you're at a restaurant and they pay for your bill. And I was expecting to pay $5 for that coffee, but now I didn't. So I would put $5 to the savings, to my savings instead, or to my debt instead. So that's what I mean by that, is save the savings. And that'll be something new for me. And I'll definitely have to like pay attention to my receipts. I keep my receipts anyway until the end of the month, just so I can keep everything organized. But that will definitely be a new addition to my Transfer Tuesdays that I'm quite excited about. So yeah, that's it. That's my plan, my brief little saving/spending plan for the final 6 months of 2021. I just feel like I can make even more progress. I don't know. I just feel like I haven't made much progress so far, especially since I've paid off my car. I have had a couple of setbacks, as you all know, with my health and with larger expenses that I was not expecting. So that's the main thing that's holding me back. It's not my personal shopping. But instead of me spending a couple $100s a month on myself for things that I don't actually need, they were just wants, I would like to put that toward my student loan debt. And, you know, I don't want to feel guilty at all about my purchases, and I don't really feel that's where I'm at. So it's kind of the same idea with when I started my no spend year for 2020. I was in a very good place where I didn't feel deprived, you know, and that's the same thing right now, is that I don't feel like I really need anything for the next 6 months. Obviously, if I absolutely want something, or if I absolutely need something, then I will purchase it. I'm not saying I'm gonna be as strict as I was in 2020, but this will be, I think, a good way for me to save as much as I possibly can for the remainder of 2021. So if you want to join me, please let me know, and also stay tuned for my low spend, no spend video that I will be making. In the meantime, you could watch my old ones though, because it will be quite similar to that. And let me know what you think of these savings ideas. Let me know if there's anything I should add to this. Are there any little tricks that I could do that are kind of fun for making me save more for my student loan debt? And also comment down below if you are doing anything similar. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.